Welcome to the Underground.
Turn me up, bitch!
My Little Underground with Peter A.
It's My Little Underground. I'm Peter A. You can follow me on socials at MLU Pod and subscribe to the monthly My Little Underground email newsletter, and that's over at peteraradio.com. Today on the show, we have the production duo known as Two Hungry Bros, and Ben and Rob talk all about their latest album with Homeboy Sandman, Senile Chef. They talked about maneuvering sampling, their radio show, the Two Hungry Bros show, projects they have for 2022, working with rappers versus doing instrumental albums, and so much more with the great production duo known as Two Hungry Bros, and they're right here on My Little Underground.
Nice background, Ben.
Yeah, full of crates. I like it.
It's just a record shelf. It looks long. It looks like a long wall, but it's just an IKEA record shelf. So.
I love it. It's nothing like mine, but that's great. You know what I mean? That's it.
I do all my
there.
work. I do all my work Zoom for stuff from here and all that. You know, since the pandemic.
Yeah. So I want to ask you guys, like you two as a production duo, when you guys are actually cooking, are you guys like working together on individual beats, or it's like do you guys have a separate process? Like one of y'all does one thing and another does another, and then it just comes together, or what? What's the process?
It used to be a together thing, but then eventually he moved to Jersey City, and then I moved to Brooklyn. We were both in the Lower East Side, and then we would work on a lot of joint projects. But then even sometimes it was like, he hits me with some records and I hit him with some records, and see how you could freak something differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because two brains, is better than one. I mean, now we're doing a lot of individual stuff, but that's just situational wise. This is being forced due to the pandemic, due to a lot of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scheduling.
But I thought you were technically. I haven't had dinner. I thought you were technically talking about cooking. but
like,
yeah,
what you make, baby? What you make?
But yeah, we use different machinery. We used to make beats together in my mom's house when I first started making beats.
On the Akai MPC 2000.
2000, which is right here. But we still work together. As far as like networking with artists or like having to contact labels and stuff like to
and then we were doing radio shows every night.
So we still work.
Radio shows. We DJ at Beer Wax together. When most of the times whenever I can get a nice DJ gig and I can get him in on that, I'll bring him in. If the schedule doesn't conflict, it'll be a Two Hungry Bros thing. But even today, I'm like, yo, did you get the message? Yeah. We're trying to make it a Two Hungry Bros thing as opposed to just like a Deep or Ben thing.
Yeah. Because production teams always interest me, because just the process of actually like making stuff, like what, like is the Justice League all together? Is this, what I'm saying?
They have singles comics, the Flash, Superman.
Not even the comic books, like the actual production team, like you know what I mean, like all those guys are they're all together, you know what I mean? Because I know Madlib is Madlib, J Dilla is J Dilla, right? So that's how I think. It's interesting. So when it comes to like sampling, because a lot of music has a lot of samples in it. Like, how you guys maneuver that? Like, do you guys go through the sample clearing process, or I don't want to put your business out on the street. I'm just curious. Like, how are
we
you
outlaws?
We ninjas, man.
Yeah. It's I don't want to say anything like that because then I say, oh no, we don't do this, and then somebody hears it and it comes after us.
I mean, when it comes to like, the whole, just avoiding like the copyright issues or whatever, like, does that kind of get in the, that's basically my main point is like, do you get scared? Like, do you like, oh, fuck it, we're not going to sample nothing, or we're just, just whatever.
It's whatever, bro. It's a few in 2000, in 2003, 2004, when we were working with Fresh Daily, he was going by the name Il Tarzan. And then he got in trouble with but this is when the names don't come, but I know what it is. the guy who wrote Edgar Rice Burroughs, no, whoever wrote Tarzan, his estate hit him up and was like with a cease and desist, and that buzz was like, that was muscle, because he got more shows, we were able to book more shows, and then that streamlined us into the whole AOK movement, and like it was good. So one of the, and just to quote, like in Rocky 5, I think, when the Don King character was like, hit me and I'll sue, and then Rocky was like, sue me for what? What do you want to take from me? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yo, like for
exactly.
this is the drill with us, man. I mean, we do this because we love to do it. We love to make art. We're doing so. We're not doing this to feed our families. I mean, we would like to eventually. I mean, I make a few sales. We do a show and we make some sales, and then we go buy our son's toys. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
But let's say some digi money gets flagged. All right. Take half of that if you want. Go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was one of my issues with us in 2007, 2008, 2009, when people were like, yo, submit beats with no samples. Why do you want to say? Oh, because you want 100% of the royalties. But then you're just taking all the juice out of the hip hop sound. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, I tried to make keyboard beats, and they sound like keyboard beats to me. Anyway, but yeah,
like the cat making the joint, like that meme with the cat.
I just think it's not. We just fly under the radar, and like I never really think about it like that, and I guess we've been lucky. And I mean, and like if anything would have hit, I mean, I love the artists that I'm sampling from, so I wouldn't. If they took the money from me, I'm not gonna even be mad. I'm not.
Yeah, like they deserve it.
I don't do it for that. You know what I mean? As I become older, making beats as an older man, I'm like, I think about the music a lot more. So it's more of like a nod to them and an appreciation and thanking. Just I rework whatever they did, but it's still a nod to them. You know what I mean? Because they created it first. So I don't say, nah, it's my sample. I sampled it, and if somebody else samples it, then what?
Yeah, I mean, we come from the DJ background. We were DJing at the New Eurekan for like a year, 2 years, and from there on out, whenever we would DJ out, it was always samples. We would DJ samples because we pay homage to the cats who paved the sound, like a dope, like just inspired us to show. We really want to. We're just basically kind of like curators who put drum programming over sounds that we think are dope. And presenting it to you, and then that's why we, I don't mind if we make instrumental albums. It doesn't have to have an MC on it, because go ahead, okay, Pete. You remember back in the 90s, like when you used to buy something, and would you open up the credits to see where the samples came from? We would do that. Like they used to like gangster albums used to list credits. A bunch of old, like when you used to open the cassettes, they used to have the credits, the samples were listed, and that was interesting. That's like archaeology. That's anthropology for us.
I like that.
That's the culture of I mean, it's the street culture that we like. Okay, for instance, we come from the hood, the LES Manhattan, right? And we didn't have parents who put us in like a piano class or flute playing class or whatever. No, we didn't have jazz parents, whatever. And
we had uncles and sisters and cousins and brothers that had like record collections.
Yeah. And we jacked that. We jacked their collection. I did for sure. I jacked my uncle. I did all my cousins, all my aunts. I jacked their collections. And that made me, and I wanted to present that to the world. So that's my family's legacy. That's my ancestors' legacy. That's and that's what we do. Making something out of nothing. And it's not that it's nothing, but it's like we work with what we got.
Yeah, like to your point, Rob, about the archaeology aspect of all the sample credits. I recently got a Bandana, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib album, and they list all the songs that they sampled from and where it all came from. It's really cool. Yeah.
That's because Madlib probably got in trouble.
Well, I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything happen. So
I know Madlib definitely.
Yeah, people have come after Madlib before. Yeah, he is ballsy. But I've heard people come after him before. But
and at that same right, he's gonna keep doing it because he loves the art. He's not gonna. He doesn't transition into like, oh, now I got to do synthy, or I mean, even though he could play instruments because he did it on the Blue Note record.
Yeah.
Remember? Yesterday's New Quintet, like.
Yeah, he is a musician.
Yeah, he enjoys what he enjoys doing. He likes it. We love sampling.
Yep.
And to talk just a little bit about, just real quick about sampling, and one of my staff, he considers himself from Generation Z, and he's just a young dude, and he kind of was like putting down sampling, and it was like, oh, and I was like, it's still the artist, the producer, still recreating a sound. You're still creating music with drum programming, with different chops and stuff like that. So just because you're sampling doesn't mean you're not a musician and you're not creating something. So
yeah, it takes a lot of like musicianship to recreate anything. It's who said it best? I forgot who said it. I think it was Grandmaster Caz. He said, hip hop didn't invent anything; it reinvented everything. That's how I look at it. It's really cool. So, well, Rob, I know you're trying to work on the sequel to your album, What You Left Behind, with rappers this time. So how far along are you in that? Or was that a joke? Was
everybody saw that? Everybody saw that like post. Okay, let me just say, whenever I post something on the gram and it's just music related, I expect nobody to see it. And for some reason, that one went over the radar, and people, I got like family. Like I went to my family, and they were like, in Long Island, they're like, yo, I heard you were making a new album. I'm like, yo, I'm always making a new freaking album. What are you talking about? But I got like 8. But and it wasn't a sequel. I mean, What You Leave Behind was like my first instrumental album. But I am working on a new compilation, and this is it's a deep album. Whatchamacallit? My man Damien from I Had an Accident Records. I've been doing a lot of joints with him, like it's like Kobe tapes with him, because he puts out, he's dope. He puts out my stuff. We have a lot in common. And then but he's like, yo, you want to do a rap compilation? And I'm like, no, because I don't really like working with MCs that much.
Why not?
Because okay. Like there's this new thing hitting. And I'm saying this because, like I said, I don't really like working with rappers that much. It's annoying. My favorite MC to work with right now is Breeze Everflowing. We know why? Because he's a grown man. You know what I mean? And he gets things done. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing. I like a lot of cats who, they put it down. They get things done. No complaints. No talk about imposter syndrome. Oh, I feel this. I feel that, bro. That's whatever. Anyway,
I want to hear this album. You gotta send it to me. The album that Ben just put up. I want to hear this. That's cool.
What did he put up? Oh, he put up the cover.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Look, it's just right here.
I can't see it on my end for some reason. It just whenever I talk, whenever he pops.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I've done 2 albums of Breeze Everflowing. And it was just like send. Bang it out. Send, bang it out. Boom, boom, boom. We done? Okay, I'm going to do the promotion. You need a feature? Boom, I'm going to get that for you. And I noticed, anyway, but also shout out to Cryptic One. He's on my new album. And he banged out his joint. Easy peasy, and it sounds fresh. Shout out to DJ Grouch, too. He's on there doing some cuts. Because, I mean, we're DJs, but, there's turntablists, and then there's guys who play events. We play events. I don't have time to do this, and I don't want the carpal tunnel syndrome later.
Yeah, interesting.
I'll pay that dude. I'll pay the DJ to do it for me. Because he's gonna need the money for the bills later when he has to buy the brace.
Yeah,
for his carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, Damien was like, "Yo, you want to do a compilation?" I was like, "Word, word, I'm down." I still don't know what to call it because it's getting in so many. And for me, so for this album, I'm kind of like hitting up everybody that I worked with, and I got some like I don't know if you followed my career from way back. Like a lot of some people who never thought me and Jack Progresso would work together again. Jack Progresso's on there. Fat Boy Sharif is on there. C's Mikes, and it's like, oh, so C's Mikes is another MC I went to high school with. And people don't know that. And very dope cat, and I like what he did for the. Anyway, I'm not gonna tell you anything more, but I like what the album sounds like. I don't know what to call it though. I might call it "What You Leave Behind" Part 2.
Ben, what do you think about Rob's sentiment about working with rappers? Do you feel the same way he does?
Yeah, I'm on board with him because me and him are, we're both fathers, and I could understand the relationship with him working in Breeze and why it works, because Breeze is a dad too, and he has, and they get, when you become a dad, you have to get things done. I mean, that necessarily might be for the same for everybody, but every artists are very
emotional creatures.
Yeah, very particular. So like a producer is like, I don't know. I feel like a producer is like more on point. I don't know. I guess it really depends.
You guys are artists too. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah. We artists too, and we do get inspired, and I think one of the things that I try to motivate my artists to like put it out there and don't dwell on it too much, and there's a lot of cats. I mean, a lot of people have been. No, what I'm saying is a lot of MCs have been through a lot these last 2 or 3 years with the COVID, with the pandemic, and there a lot of people have passed away. A lot of people have lost loved ones, and that has an emotional impact on these artists that are filtering their thoughts through lyricism. And sometimes they're wondering, like, man, should I put that out there, or what about my mark on this planet? Like, what are we gonna leave behind because we just witnessed so much death, you know what I mean? And then there's also the ones who deny the death and deny that the sickness even exists, and there's those people too. So
yeah, I also think it depends on the artist if they're gonna come with it. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Doc Reeves. He's an artist that I've worked with. Reeves. We both worked with. We both did solo albums with him, and we both did
a joint
album. And he gets work. He gets the work in. So it's like, it's kind of like meeting up with your boy to work out. Like like me and Deep used to work out a lot. And used to be like, yo, we're gonna work out. We're serious about it. So it's kind of about being serious. But some people, I don't know. I guess it all depends on
once again, the reason why we don't work out is because of the pandemic.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
Yeah. Don't infer anything. Oh no.
Wait, let me ask you guys this. So when it comes to like dwelling on music, you say with working with rappers, what about your music, you two by yourself? Like, do you guys like kind of overthink things sometimes? You're like, maybe I should tweak this or whatever. You don't. Okay.
Nah, because like I said, just going back to my previous point about trying to present samples and grooves to the world, I really like, it's more in my mind, it's more of curation and reprogramming a piece of art and curating it to somebody. A lot of the time, I mean, I do chops, but if I find a really dope loop, I have reverence for it. And then I just put the drums on it. I'm not doing the thing where the kids are doing now, where they just loop something and then they just loop it and that's a beat.
That's how you get caught. That's how you get caught.
But you notice a lot of those cats were doing that. I've been hearing a lot of just like loops.
Yeah.
And a lot of underground rappers, a lot of the street cats are doing that. And it's cool to hear a sample like, oh man, but then, you know what? I'm going to say shout out to those cats who are not putting their drum programming, because it gives me a new idea. Like, oh man, that's a dope loop. Because they're kind of doing it for the whole art community, like for the whole music community, to be like, oh, like it leaves so much potential. Basically they're showing, they're showing us potential, and then it's kind of like an artist who doesn't put certain colors and then he wants you to fill in the blanks yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
When
they
you said
leave it
looping,
out.
I'm thinking you're talking about like a sample of another record,
Okay,
or just
my
okay.
bad. So yeah, they'll take a piece of the song and they'll loop it, and then maybe they'll filter it under the sample so it sounds heavier and boomier, but then that'll be it. I think Ben, who started that? Was that cat from the Flip Mode, Rock Marciano? Wasn't he doing it?
Yeah, it was Rock
And
Marciano.
it was Rock Marciano.
He started that. That is his style.
Wow.
And so you kind of like fill in the blanks in your mind if you're inclined to.
Yeah.
So I gotta. Yeah, go ahead.
I hear what you're saying, Deep, and I used to be like that about like music on the radio and be like, yo, I don't get this, like, you know, I don't like it, but like I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. You know, if younger kids like it, then they like it for a certain reason, you know what I mean? Because I like music back in the 90s, and there were older people like my pop, like, why you listening to that jungle music or something like that, you know what I mean? So like I appreciate music, but if I take whatever I can from it, you know, if I think it's dope, I think it's dope. But as far as like being very like particular with my beats, I'm not. I'm very similar with Deep. Like I don't go say like, yeah, I'm gonna go put a bass line on this, or like, yo, I'm gonna go tweak this snare till I want it to sound like this. I might tweak it a little bit, but I'm not very super particular. When I know I got that sound that I want, then that's what I have.
Yeah,
like
when you hear when you get it.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to a point. Like, shout out to the discerning listener. I mean, back in the '90s and like the '80s, when I was listening to music, I didn't just listen to whatever was on. Like, I was that kid who didn't get with the whole Reasonable Doubt thing because I didn't like drug dealer rap, because I didn't think it was something that should be encouraged. But now as an adult, I hear a lot of the stuff. I listen a lot more. And I'm like, all right, it's not bad, and I see what Jay was trying to do. But if I were to hear something that was like negative, and I would be like, nah, that's negative. I don't want to. But then there's always the listener who like you hear something on the radio and sings along, and then there's the listener who was like, I think there could be something better, and he goes looking, and that's what we kind of.
That's me.
Yeah. That's what we try to like hit those people up, because in those times, that's how I found like the Arsonist, Company Flow. You know what I'm saying? And then and back in the day, like, you know, when you heard the Wu, I mean, shout outs to the Wu, because the Wu really made every nerd happy. Even though they had drug dealer rap, they had kung fu joints in there, and everyone was like, we could be as nerdy as we want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
our MF Doom is super nerdy too, with comic books and wrestling talk and all that. So
shout outs to MF Doom, because that was in like 2001 with was that 2000 or 98 when he super and it was on Bobito's label.
I think
it was 98,
like
right?
98, yeah.
And then he did the Scooby joint. I mean,
that was on Operation Doomsday.
Yeah, I mean, but we had it before it was on the album. Like, we had it on the single. Like, we heard that in the shops, and we were like, oh man, nerd stuff, and we were like, that's it. Oh, and Dr. Octagon, Cool Keith's Dr. Octagon, man, like that really opened up the door for like a lot of us, you know, because we didn't want hip hop just to be about drug dealer rap, you know what I mean, and being jiggy, because I mean, materialism really didn't. We didn't gravitate towards that. So
the way I look at some of that stuff, like I'm with you guys on some of that, because I like the weirdos and the creatives and the nerdy kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and one, hip hop shouldn't be painted in one box, but like, you know, I like Godfather, The Sopranos, and all that stuff. And you know, people don't go to Martin Scorsese and say, "Oh, you're promoting drug dealing and mafia shit." You know what I mean?
Yeah, make a Marvel movie, Scorsese.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he's critical of those movies. That's right.
Yeah,
he's
do a Batman sequel. Well, didn't he have a part in the Joker movie? Didn't he help with that? Yeah.
I don't know.
I heard one of them big dudes had a real big part in like, I thought he had a part in the Joker movie. Like in like some kind of production. executive production in that.
You talking about Robert De Niro's in the movie?
He's in the movie, yeah, but
yeah. Oh, we talking about producing the film.
And Joker, yeah.
Oh, word.
I think he had a piece.
I didn't know that.
And so that's why, I mean, shout out, the Joker movie was ill, man, because it really encapsulated the frustration of getting around the mental health system. And in just in America, like how he had to go get his meds from different places and dealing with the pharmacy and having to call the doctors, and then they're not being on top of you, even if you're having a fit or an episode. You know, people don't check up on you. You're really out for yourself in these streets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So earlier today, you talked about your radio show, which I wanted to talk to you about anyway. But tell me about like the takeaways you two had from doing the Two Hungry Bros show, and it was on BSB radio, which is now
it was on
BSB
now. Radio.
Yeah.
And we try. We're looking to see where we go. We're taking a little break right now because you do a show every week. You listen to a lot of music every week, and I noticed that when I'm on DJ mode, I can't produce.
Really?
Yeah. So when I'm doing that show, I'm not making anything. So so we would take like the summer off or like winter break. Because BSB was in a college radio system.
Oh, interesting.
So I was like, why am I going to keep doing, if the kids aren't in the school, why would I make a new show? So that was a good time for me to create in the winter or in the summer. But when I'm like, doing when we're doing the shows, I can't, if I'm in DJ mode, I can't create anything. Because I don't want it to like seep in, I don't want, even though we would play new exclusives, but for some reason, I don't know. That's just me. I can't produce when I'm in DJ mode.
Now you guys are in creative mode.
Now
I like doing the show a lot as well. And what it took, I have a certain amount of time for creative time, and that was my creative time. My just hosting or like coming up with I would do like, I don't know if a lot of people would catch. I would do skits, and Deep would love them, so I love them as well. And I would just love doing them because I would be laughing to myself because I sound crazy.
Yeah, because you want to make people,
Yeah, and I would do the editing for the show, and I love doing that too because it's kind of like producing when you're editing stuff and putting fades and stuff like that. So it's still tapping into creativity, and I was also doing the flyers for the show, so I tapped into creativity, other sides of creativity that I don't normally do.
And you would do research.
Yeah, so, and I was doing curating of music, helping out with music. So,
was this show more of like a? Oh, go ahead, Ben.
It just shows that we could do a lot more than just make beats, and now we're like, wow, what else could we do? You know what I'm saying? So it was dope. It is dope.
A big part of it is like one of my boys, Tom Diaz, when he said about our music, or like whenever we would play out or our mixtapes, he would say, yeah, you guys should do movie soundtracks or either compose them or contribute to them. And that's kind of, if you listen to the BSB radio shows, we were really it was thematic. We would go grooves into hip hop, or just all grooves, or even do 80s, like trying to get the whole 80s sound. Because growing up in NYC, it was like the house party sound that we grew up on, just really trying to set a mood, and we would do that with the music. So I mean, yeah, that was definitely fun, definitely artistic, I guess.
Was this show mostly just about curation, like you said, like making sure people discover new stuff, or was just the whole wide array of what you guys listen to?
The wide array. How did you say that?
I think it was. I think it's
the
both.
Wide array.
Yeah.
The Human Torch blows up New York. What was that? Brown cow. How now, brown cow.
How now, brown cow.
How now, brown cow. Wide array. You should be a news anchor, Peter.
Oh man, I did that in college though. I did a little bit of just a little bit. I did a music show, a new music show. So, but I was insane. Like I would just every week had to be something I didn't play, and had to be something new that just came out. So I was.
Also, we were trying to do that. We were trying to do that. Yeah. It definitely catches up, but it was a lot easier when I used to do that in Hunter College, because they would send you new music.
Yeah, every week you get new stuff.
They would send you, so I've definitely done the whole the college radio thing, and it was a lot more fun because, like I said, you didn't have to go buy music, you didn't have to go dig for music. You just came, and then you would say which one you like, which one you didn't.
Yep. So the Senile Chef album with Homeboy Sandman. So how
we made that? No,
I knew that question. What are you talking about, man, Peter? Where's this conversation going?
All right, go ahead. How long was the album in the works?
Oh man.
Okay, yo, this dude woke up one day and was like, "Oh, I got an album that the Two Hungry Bros produced, and can we put it out? I want to put it out." And then he's like, "I'm gonna put it out, guys." Okay.
Yeah, it was in the works for quite some time, man.
The works.
Yeah.
He's been sitting on it. In the works.
He was sitting on it. Yeah.
How long was he sitting on it?
It's like
he was sitting on it.
It's like the goose that's sitting on the golden eggs.
Yeah.
The giant top of the jacket of beanstalk. That's what it was.
The giant. The giant decided to come down the beanstalk by himself and put it out.
You guys had a vinyl.
Didn't even leave us with the harp.
Yeah, you guys had a vinyl crowd sourcing thing for this album, and it was successful.
Yeah.
I think. So would you think about doing something like this again?
Nope.
No.
Nah,
because
man.
we never done crowdsourcing stuff.
Yeah,
before.
we don't crowdsource,
Sorry.
man. That's we don't crowdsource. I mean, we like to support from our listeners for stuff that we've made and stuff that I like coming through from our people. And so, I want to make it so that, the stuff's already made and all you're doing is you're acquiring something that you don't have. I don't want, and yes, you are supporting me, but I feel like it's, to me, because I guess we old school, it feels like begging. It felt like begging.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, I see people.
It's definitely not a route that we take. Yeah. It's not the route.
Because we came up from like pushing CDs, at festivals ourselves, pushing our own music at shows. We at Rocksteady, at Scribble Jam, we were hitting up people and making money like that. Like, but providing a service, providing content, providing art that you want to get from anywhere else, as opposed to asking somebody to help us make it. I like investing in myself and then getting it done, getting it out there, and then seeing if you like it enough to give me that money back. That I guess that's the whole my entrepreneurial spirit. You know what I mean?
I got you. So,
but no. Sam went through his boy. Even though I was like, yo, I got my man, I got like a few labels that could put it out for you. He was like, nah, I want to do it this way. So then we're like, all right.
Well, when it comes to vinyl, right? Did this successful crowdfunding for this album, did it ignite your already existing love for vinyl?
Wait, what? There was vinyl out already before that.
Yeah, there's vinyl out already. There's
your
love of vinyl, just generally speaking. Did it? Yeah, I see it.
No, it's we've been on vinyl. We've been featured on. We've been on Stone's Throw. We've been on
and then shout outs on 45s in Germany.
45s, we've been on. So definitely shout out to my man Jamian, man. He's put us out on vinyl a bunch of times, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I had an accident record, yo.
Yeah, so it definitely
shout out to my man Observe.
Yeah,
he wanted to put that out too. He wanted to put that out too. Who else? The Duke Pain Thief wanted to put that. A lot of people wanted to put out Senile Chef, but it was always like, nah. I'll let my man. But whatever, we're grateful Sam finally decided to let it come out the gates.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that people are enjoying it.
I fucking love it.
You do? Oh, okay.
Oh, great.
Word up. That shit is old.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if you.
Nah,
I don't care if it's like
but
30
see,
years old.
but
It's
see,
still
let me
great.
just that's and this is why we appreciate Senile Chef, because it's like a testament to the timelessness of our style,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
There's a
Yeah.
lot
It's
of
not
older beats
dated.
on there.
And
Yeah.
that's why I asked, because vinyl has its waves of popularity or whatever, but like this whole thing probably made you like, okay, man, I will never let go of this medium, right?
I mean, no, of course not. We
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was my point.
vinyl.
That's all. Yeah.
We never let it go. We never let it go.
Of course not. Yeah.
We're still doing vinyl sets at Beer Wax. You know what
Of
I'm
course.
saying?
Yeah. I guess it was the wrong question to ask you guys because I know you guys are always doing it, but yeah. So tell me about your 2022 plans as two hungry bros or individually.
More dates, hopefully. Hopefully the pandemic goes away and we can tour the universe. But a bunch of cats is hitting me up. My boy Garcia Vega. We did his joint called Vegatron. Well, some other cat named Carlos Davino put it out. DK put it out on like Bandcamp, and we're like, that's it. But whatever. But then the kid was like, yo, the kid is a real hard worker, and Garcia, he's not a kid, he's an adult too, and he's also an entrepreneur, owns his own business, and he had an ill style on my beats, and I'm like, yo, you want to do a part 2 on our own? He's like, yeah. So he's working on that. He picked a bunch of beats, so that's Vegatron. I don't know when it's coming out, but he's working on it. The cat FU hit me up on the gram. A lot of people, I like working with things organically as they come along. I don't really pursue anything. So just saying, so if it comes along, we make it happen.
Okay.
And I just feel that's the natural. I like that order, like just not forcing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Two hungry bros. Thank you guys.
Don't say exactly. For other people, it works the other way. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Look at all those people who hunt down.
I'm saying like I feel what you're saying. That's what I mean by that. Like I understand where you're coming up, or like not like this is how I live my life exactly how you live your life. It's just like I get what you're saying. That's all.
Yeah. Shout out to Breeze Everflowing, because I'm sure we're gonna work on something else because we're dads and we like making music together.
Of course.
And I'm really, like I said, I'm really excited for the album that I want to put out, that I Had an Accident Record wants to put out. And then even Damien's like, yo, he wants to do another split, because we, like I said, we have 2 albums there's a series called Sampling from Alternate or Parallel Dimensions. I forgot what it's called. But those are 2 like a beat tapes with 2 a beat tape that we both do. He does one side, I do another one. But now he wants to do it with a compilation style with some more rappers. So hopefully I'll have enough joints after I finish my compilation, and then I can put those on that. Or maybe I'll have some brand new ones. I'm not letting you know. It'll happen.
So where can people follow the Two Hungry Bros and stream your music, buy your music?
The same place you do, Peter.
Okay.
Instagram, Bandcamp. Yeah.
At the number 2, at the numero 2, Hungry Bros.
All right.
Yo, you didn't have to ask us. You didn't have to ask us that many questions, right? It was not like pulling teeth at all, right?
No, not at all. I love this. It's the best kind of conversation, not interview. It was just a conversation, so that's great. It's really cool. Thank you, brothers.
You're welcome.
Bros.
Yeah.
Bros, everybody's hip hop until it comes time to say bros. Everybody wants to be English majors.
Wow.
It's bros, 2 hungry bros.